Hello, I'm Mark,
I'm Casey.
and today we're going to talk a little bit about Tesla campers. But first, roll that intro.
You're watching the Tesla Life Express.
Hey everyone, thanks for joining us today. And recent news was we had someone out there had decided that they were going to put together a little bit of an art project and
Yeah,
show us some pics of a future concept that they thought should be on the market. And of course, this concept was a Tesla vehicle, kind of Tesla semi inspired, but rolled into a smaller package, basically a sprinter van type setup. So actually, we can share some photos because we've got those. Let me uh, let me grab a photo here. Here we go. So here's a shot of the exterior. Definitely, this is set up looking like the semi front,
yeah.
but it is a smaller package. It's not the size of a semi. And of course, you've got these windows in the back, which I thought at one point were a sticker, but no, those are windows with a reflection of the mountain range behind it. So that's why it kind of looks like that. But and then a few shot of the interior. This person actually Dominic is his name. You can check out his actual Twitter feed, his X feed, or his linked website. But Dominic went all out here, basically designing an advertising page, making it look like it's a Tesla offering, and shows the stats, the order form, the order now button, and went through all of it. But this is something that I wanted to talk a little bit with Casey because, of course, Casey has got a project that is not a van, but it's a trailer. But you can definitely see the need for something like this, can't you, Casey?
Oh, absolutely. We're working on the hvnomads.com, and we're converting a cargo trailer into a all electric camper. There'll be no fossil fuels anywhere, and this would be a nice shortcut for us right here to be able to build it on top of a camper van. And some folks are like, "Well, if Tesla does this, aren't you going to be disappointed?" No, no, not at all, because Uh, what can happen then, assuming they don't take away towing? We can just tow our trailer with it, and then we can do the inside of the camper van, and that could be the office, or that could be the living space, and then we could redo the HV Nomads trailer to be the office and mobile studio. Because my wife's got a lot of crafts that she likes to do. We do 3D printing and um, all sorts of other projects that she's into, and that would be perfect for it. And having that all electric base, even if you can't tap into the battery pack, which I think that would be very resourceful. There's one product out there that's similar to this that's out of Maxwell. They take crashed Model 3s and Model Ys and they put them underneath uh, Ram ProMaster more underneath Ram ProMaster donor vans. And one option they give you is they will put out a junction box basically for your upfitter to connect to for their high solar system as well as to the HV battery pack.
Right.
Nobody else offers that. Everybody else wants to do a separate set of house batteries, which is super redundant. You've already got 75 kilowatt hours, 78 kilowatt hours underneath a Model 3 or Model Y, and there are no more, baby. Underneath your Model 3 or Model Y that formed this ProMaster, and it would be awesome to be able to just tap that HV bus and not have to worry about uh, hauling another 3, 4, 500 pounds of batteries.
Exactly. The batteries are already there. They're stacked properly. They're used for the drive. Why not be able to charge them with your solar that you have on the vehicle and deplete some of the energy for operation in camper mode to run some of the appliances or the internal lights and so forth. It
And
makes
that is the other
complete
thing
sense.
that Maxwell does that nobody else is doing. They charge your batteries back from that same solar that they put on your roof. Nobody else is willing to charge except through the charge port via their solar. So that's a 1-2 punch.
Yeah, yeah. Now, of course, we have seen recently that in the last Tesla earnings call, Elon had brought up a slide showing about some future vehicles under tarps. And of course, one of them looks suspiciously like a tall vehicle, like a van. But of course, we have nothing to go on besides what it looks like from the outside with the cover over it. But I would certainly hope that Tesla is heading down the road that would provide a
Yes.
vehicle like this and be able to share that with the vanning community. It just makes so much sense if you can employ those modifications as Casey had said that most third-party van outfitters can't do. They can't tap directly into the drive the drive battery pack, probably because they don't have the expertise to do it.
Actually, that, yeah,
And there could be a problem of liability if anything was to go
definitely that.
wrong.
Yeah,
That
you're looking at
they
400, 800 volts. Yeah,
Exactly. They had modified the vehicle to do something that it was not capable of doing in the eyes of the manufacturer, or they were not capable of doing it themselves. They didn't have the knowledge that was required to make it be done safely. So that's a big liability pill to swallow for anybody. So if you can get the manufacturer, in this case being Tesla, to produce a van, which of course could be a high volume selling vehicle because we're not just talking camper vans, we're talking
right.
about cargo vans, we're talking
That
about
part.
fleet vans, we're talking that
Mini school
industry
buses,
would
limos,
use
carpool
these
trucks.
vehicles as well
Yeah,
as people that want to outfit them. But Tesla could certainly benefit from this, even if they didn't want to do their own van conversion themselves, if they would just build in the software and the connectors so
yes.
that van outfitters or maybe specific van outfitters could tap into that system, that would be a win on all levels.
Hopefully, if they do the specific, it'd be a matter of just being certified or something.
Yeah,
The prior to the production Cybertruck coming out, some folks would have suggested this was impossible to do anything with the power because Tesla's been very stingy about power. Like if you put um, an inverter on your car, like on your 12-volt battery to run your fridge, and it wasn't running off the cigarette socket, the 12-volt socket, they would void your warranty over it.
yeah,
And but what's new about this now is with the Cybertruck, they have this new technology they offer called Power Share, and they've got two different versions of it. They've got the through the charge port where the car can, if you've got a proper Tesla Energy Gateway or Powerwall on the building, it can backfeed the whole building. Or they have the other version, which is just all the various outlets in the vehicle, where you can then load power from the outlets into your devices. So they could just take that one step further and just have an inverter input similar to like on the Powerwall 3, where they could just say, here's the ratings. If you see these, you void the warranty and you can risk damage to the vehicle. But if
yeah,
you're under if you're within these specifications, then we'll accept that power and use it to augment the drive capabilities. Or if you're parked, we'll slowly trickle charge the battery with this power that you're feeding us.
exactly, exactly. And if Tesla does take that step, that they certify maybe van outfitters to use standard components that they put into the van that allow people to hook things up to it safely and the software to run it, then I hope Tesla takes the next step and enables that for a fifth wheel application as well. Because certainly something like the Cybertruck, being able to have that connection to the trailer, again, would benefit the owners immensely. Being able to use that drive battery pack into the trailer as well. And of course, use that extra space the trailer has for solar charging back into that battery pack as well. It all makes great sense. If Tesla has the time to devise a software package and an input output ability with that main battery pack, it would benefit so many.
Exactly. If you're going to be parked at a lake for a month or something like that, imagine like even if you only got 1 kilowatt, 1 kilowatt times 4 hours a day times a month is what, 4 kilowatt hours a day times a month. You can get somewhere with that,
Yeah.
and and depending on what you're looking for, you might not even be as 1 kilowatt. You might be much higher than that. And this one that's on the screen right now, this isn't some fan art. This was from Tesla before the production Cybertruck came out. This was on the website after the unveiling. Although the windows might be a fan art. I think the one they showed us had flat sides.
Yeah, the certainly the if you opened this up to van outfitters or trailer outfitters in
Yes.
both cases, then certainly that's going to give you Tesla the best of all worlds, because you have people playing by the rules as to how they can hook things up, what they can and cannot do. You have software to monitor the issue and, of course, shut anything down that's not specific. And of course, if you have some sort of a certification, you can revoke somebody's certification if you find that they're monkeying outside of the limits that you've put in place. But you're protecting your customer and giving your customer the great ability to have multiple people to pick from and multiple types of trailers slash outfitters to pick from based on price, based on quality, based on what they're after. And of course, we as consumers always know that if you've got more choice, it just makes things better for any consumer.
Right. And then the other thing we want to look at with this is that with the Cybertruck, you look at how many different contractor and worksite ads they did for PowerShare alone, as well as other stuff, but especially PowerShare. Now, look at what is the most popular work vehicle around the world is not a pickup truck. It's a van. So make a cyber van based on a truck. And I mean, they're already going to have problems with demand as it is. Like they won't be able to make enough. But if they just were able to get more of that punch sheet that Elon did when he did the crowdsource of ideas, and he's like, "Yes, we'll do that." And no, that's stupid. Or maybe somebody else can do it, but we'll do this. If they can get more of that punch sheet done and have it ready to go at launch, Cybertruck just felt like they weren't. It was a little, felt like a little bit like they wanted to do all that, and then they just ran out of time, or the chips weren't ready, or
yeah.
That's how it feels. I'm not saying that's what happened, but that's how it felt. And so if they could avoid that with the van, that would be great.
Yeah. So that's something that we hope we can see as time goes along, as this new sheet comes off the potential van. Again, we don't know it for sure. We're just guessing based on its size and stature compared to the others. But
very boxy, very tall, and very long compared to the others.
But again, Elon has expressed interest in producing a van previously. He said that there is certainly a demand for van when you think about the fleets and the businesses, and campers in this case would be a smaller percentage. But them all added together will give you certainly volume. Look what happened in Europe with the Model Y being converted to a cargo Model Y, because
Model Y in France, yeah.
they knew that people wanted the ability to use these for businesses. So it's taking out the back seats, flattening out the surface so that the lift gate just provided a nice even flat surface all the way up to the front seats. Made sense. They're selling those. And why,
And they need them themselves too. Look at the Service Model X, Service Model Y, and the Service Model S. They removed the rear seats. They put in a safety cage and a little catch tray, just like the one we saw in France. And that is your mobile service vehicle right there.
Absolutely. You could see that Tesla could switch over to their own Tesla vans immediately for service vehicles and be able to even perform more service in the wild because you'd have room for more equipment in that vehicle and it'd be more versatile. So yeah, I can definitely see the win. And I know they've been battery constrained. And I know that they're trying to sell the most vehicles they can based on the batteries that and the supply that they have. But as the constraint starts to loosen up, some of these projects, I think, become viable. And I think a van really is the next frontier when it comes to Tesla and the vehicle shapes and designs that they have. A van, a covered truck, just
Yeah.
makes so much more sense to release to the world, and of course reduce fossil fuel use again, because it's going to be easy for someone that is a bean counter for a company and controls a fleet. They're going to be able to look at those numbers real quickly and say, it makes complete sense. Let's switch over our 12 vehicles and put them all electric, because based on the numbers here, we can definitely see that we're definitely going to reduce our maintenance, and we're also going to reduce our fuel consumption dollars.
Yeah. There were three other things that could be under that sheet that two that excited me, and one that kind of instilled dread. Um, the first would be a straight truck, like a Class 6 box truck. You see them if you order a large appliance; they'll come in with a lift gate that comes down and they deliver your appliance. That would be exciting, and I would probably try to get one of those. The other one was we talked about the van. The one that does not excite me is if it was the realization of the boring loop vehicle that they showed us with all the glass. I certainly hope not. The bread box. Everybody's gonna make a bread box. Tesla doesn't need one, especially if the robotaxi thing is true. They only need the two seats to start with, and they can do like Model 3s or X's 2 and 3 if somebody's
I,
got a family with a
I
lot of small.
got I got to believe that the Boring Company could use the van as well, as long as it fits in the tunnel. And I got to believe that they've thought about that. That having you know a 3 or possibly 4 seat van would fulfill some of those needs for multiple people on a almost like a bus like service inside the
And that was
Boring
the other thing I was thinking
tunnel.
it could be was a actual passenger bus, which would be also really
Yeah,
freaking cool.
yeah.
Like a city transit bus, 35 feet, boom.
What do you think out there? Do you think that this is what's under the cover there is a van? Are you excited about this? Does it make sense to you? Do you think that there's another type of vehicle that Tesla should concentrate on before a van? Put it in the comments. Let us know. We'd love to hear what our viewers think and what thoughts you have. And if you haven't already, please give us a thumbs up on the video. We would really appreciate it. If you haven't subscribed, press that subscribe button. Help out a small channel like us. We would really appreciate it. With that, I think we will wrap it. Casey, what do you got coming up?
Come check us out on Sunday at youtube.com at Casey Green for at 1:10 p.m. Eastern for Let's Chat with Casey and Friends. We're going to talk about everything that's been going on this week with the world of EVs and green living, and then we're going to have an update on the hvnomads.com project. Basically, what we're just talking about here with uh, not necessarily van life. It's going to be a long-term camping situation for us. Our goal with that is to show Moto the entire country before she has to start school. And it's really kind of hard to do that when you got like a bungee on your back and you got to keep coming back to a fixed location after the vacation's over, versus if you can just work from home, got your link, and you're good to go, and then just keep going to the next places. And that's what the HV Nomads is going to show, that and how we can do all of this without any fossils. Everybody's like, oh, we've got all electric EVs, not EVs, all electric campers, this, that, and the other. Then you see them turn on a propane stove, or it's like that's not all
Yeah,
electric.
you kind of like that's not what we're looking for. We want all electric, everything electrified.
They kick on a diesel heater. It's like, I mean, yes, you're using it efficiently, but a heat pump is actually more efficient than that. So let's do a heat pump. And let's insulate it right, so we're not having to oversize our appliances. And follow us
Exactly.
there. Check it out. And
Very
then
good.
on Monday, come back here for the Tesla Life Express, and we're going to talk about some pretty cool stuff there as well.
Awesome. Awesome. Thank you, everyone, for joining us. We will catch you next time, and together we'll find out what's happening in the Tesla life.
There you go.